7. He said he would cause your enemies to be smitten. In other words, he said he would resolve conflicts on your behalf. You think, and here you're thinking that you just get money when you give. God said he will cause conflicts in your life to be resolved and work themselves out. And this is my favorite part. He said you've got 3 enemies that will leave 7 different ways. In other words, he said you're going to have more answers than you have problems. I wish to God somebody would grab on to that today and understand you should have more answers than you have problems. That a blessing can come upon your life that causes you to live in a state where you have answers and not problems. I got a whole lot of people that can tell me all the problems. I'm looking for some blessed people that not only bring the problem but bring 7 answers with it. And if you need that in your life, if you ever understood that it's not your hips, lips, and fingertips or your wisdom or the way that you blink your eyes that solves things, but it's the blessing of God on your life. Has nothing to do with you or how much those people that even hate your guts but can't help but be nice to you because God is moving on your behalf, because coming and going, he already saw the conflict and resolved it and gave you more answers than you have problems. I really wish I had somebody that wanted the state of blessing on your life that calls you to understand that it's more than just money. It's solving your problems. It's having wisdom beyond your years. That you can go through the same thing half your friends went through, but come out better because you took the right turns instead of the wrong ones. I wish I had some help today. Verse 8. The Lord shall command the blessing upon thee in thy storehouse. Whoa, watch this. And in all that thou settest thine hand to. And he shall bless thee in the land which the Lord give thee. Somebody say storehouse. Where is the storehouse? Looking for it. Right here. This is the storehouse. If this is the place that you get your food for life, that this is the place that God speaks to you through his oracles, if this is your storehouse, he said that you would be blessed in the storehouse. What does that mean? That means you can sit in a service and get more out of it than your neighbor. I've often wondered how that works. That you could preach one message and have 17 different people, different walks of life. And in a given time, we've got doctors and farmers, and we've got mothers and full-time people and the corporate. We've got all kinds of. How can you preach one message and it hits so many people? It's the fact that if the blessing is upon your life, it causes you to retain when no one else can. I don't know. It amazes me because there's just some people that and I'm not going to tell anybody's business, but won't go and hear certain people to preach and because they don't like them and this and that. And we used to have people, it's not as bad as it used to be, that call, who's teaching on Wednesday nights or who's preaching on Wednesday? I'm determined, I don't care who I sit under. Because I am blessed, I will find something in the message that changes my life. And if you would ever get the mindset that it's not in the man, but it's in the message, and that's a sermon in itself. It's not in who's preaching, but it's in the message. That a blessing can come upon your life that causes you to be blessed in the storehouse, that you get fed and get more out of the sermon than people around you that don't have the state of blessing on them. And this is the thing that I love, because people don't really think that's important to have the revelation of God. But can I break it down with 3 points in a poem today? Somebody say revelation equals manifestation causes habitation. I'm not giving you the poem because you couldn't even handle the 3 rhyming letters, but it's all right today. Understand, you've got to have revelation in your life. Why? Because you can't act upon something you don't know. If I don't know that God's the healer, when I'm sick in my body, how can I believe him to do it? If I don't know that God can give me a word in my time of need, how can I come to church and expect anything to happen? But if I know through his revelation that every time I put my shoes on and head towards his storehouse, I'm going to get fed something that will eternally change my life, it causes a manifestation because I'm expecting it to happen. Somebody say manifestation. The whole process, though, is that I'm not looking for a one-shot deal that changes my life, a visitation, but I'm looking for a habitation that stays with me eternally, a state of blessing that I live in. And God said if you would know it up here and get it in here, you could see it out here. I really wish somebody that needed the revelation of God to touch your life and change your mind and change your thinking so that you could see your dreams become reality. Understand it all begins with a thought. And God said, I would captivate your thoughts and teach you more than you bargained for in the storehouse, because the state of blessing that's up on your life. Where are we? Verse 9. The Lord shall establish thee a holy people unto himself. I'm not even going to read the rest on that one. He said a holy people unto himself. What does that mean today? Remember, we talked I guess it's been probably 2 months ago, that holy means other than or set apart. When we say that God is holy, we are saying, God, you are other than, you are set apart, there's no one like you, right? Yes. It's easy to understand. God said when the state of blessing comes on your life, He said He would look at you and say, you are holy in me other than set apart. What does that mean? You can be in a crowd and stick out. There could be 100 resumes and 6 positions, and somehow yours gets put on the top of the list. You can stick. Maybe that doesn't mean anything to you. I told you the story about in the airport, how that I got picked and chosen, and God gave me a little sermon out of that, and it ushered me to the front of the line. I got to go through everything else that everyone else went through in half the time. I had people to help me, and how much of a blessing that it was. And that happened because there was a blessing on my life that caused me to stand out in crowds of people. You don't believe me? Have you ever been to a place of business or something, and you look around and you see something on somebody? You don't know why, but you're just drawn to them. I like to do business with people that are blessed. I like to do business and do things with people that stand out, because people that are blessed are mirrors, and I'm just going to set that up for later. What you do to them comes back to you. He said to Abraham in Genesis chapter 12, if they bless you, I'll bless them. If they curse you, I'll curse them. What I'm talking about is the ability that causes you to stand out in the crowd, and your price could be $100 more than anybody else, and people will come in and do business with you and drive further to get to you. Why? Because there's something that sticks out upon your life because you are blessed. Yes. I believe that there's a blessing that can come. There was a blessing on my wife that caused her to stick out in the masses of girls out there. I said, she's got to be my own, because she was blessed. Have you ever just saw something on somebody that just caused them to stand out? Yes. Or have you had somebody come and talk to you and say, there's just something different about you? Has anybody ever had that happen, or am I the only one? Am I just making this up altogether? I just see some hands for somebody. It's a state of blessing that causes you, that God said you are wholly set apart. This is the thing I love. Fame did not come from Hollywood. It came from God. God said, I would make your name great. I would set you apart. I would promote you. I would anoint you. And that changes everything about the whole, I'm not even going there. I'm not even going to read what I wrote, because I don't know if you guys will like me when I get finished saying that. I believe in business cards so much and advertisement, but I believe the greatest advertisement is when the blessing of God is upon your life and God says, this is the one, and brings people your path. In my line of work, you can go, and I'm sure Bishop has seen it too. You can go to a church and you'll have 15 evangelists running up with a briefcase in hand, ready to come to your church and preach. Here's my business card. Prophet so-and-so, anointed of the uttermost, wrong, right, reverend, whoever. I'm so blessed in my life, I've never had to do that. I get people that call me. I had someone call me from Ohio the other day. I've never even met the person. So I want you to come. I don't even know how he found me. Because in case you haven't noticed, we're not exactly in the most easiest place to find someone in these mountains. Here's a man in Columbus, Ohio, that hunted me down, and I believe I'm confident in the fact. It's not being cocky, but I'm confident that God set me apart and said that I'm other than. And because of that, He is advertising on my behalf. And this is my mindset of it, is if I've got to go around knocking down doors to get myself in, then I've got to keep the work up to make sure the door doesn't close. But God said He would do it like this, that if I let Him open up the door, He would open doors that no man could close and close doors that no man can open. It amazes me when you allow God and the state of blessing on your life for Him to go ahead of you and prepare the way and open up the doors and cause you to stand out and be other than the crowd and be set apart in the crowd and be anointed for such a time as this. A blessing comes upon your life that you can't get doing yourself, that you can't get advertising on your own, that you can't get. That's why, Scooter, I believe that you're so blessed in your gym the way you are, because God set you apart and said you're other than. Somebody needs to talk to the man about his testimony. Because I believe the blessing of God is on his life, and I believe it's on your life. And unless we're aware of it, unless we have the revelation of it, we can't have the manifestation that will ever lead us to what? The habitation. I'm trying to hurry. We got into verse 9, let's look at verse 10. And all the earth, all the people of the earth, shall see that thou art called by the name of the Lord, and thou shalt be afraid of thee. That's the whole, he's talking on your behalf and advertising for you. Verse 11. And the Lord shall make thee plenteous in goods,